This is the story of the Inferno that reshaped London. Imagine a hot summer night in 1666. You're strolling through the crowded streets of London when suddenly you see flames rising in the distance. Curious, you start to walk towards the fire, but as you get closer, the smell of burning wood fills your nostrils, and you realize with horror that it's coming from a bakery on Pudding Street. Before you can do anything, you find yourself trapped in a nightmare as the fire spreads rapidly, turning the entire city into an inferno. This is the story of the Great Fire of London. So what caused this devastating fire? Well, as with most things, it started with a woman. Well, technically, it started with a baker named Thomas Fair. He was a well-to-do baker who owned several businesses in London. On the night of the fire, he had accidentally left one of his ovens on and gone to bed. But by 2 a.m., the entire street was a fiery inferno. The cause may have been an accident, but the damage was catastrophic. The fire spread quickly through the crowded and poorly built streets of London. It was hot enough to melt lead and pewter, which ran like molten lava down the sides of the buildings, carrying the fire with it. People desperately ran for the hills, leaving their homes and businesses to be consumed by the flames. As the fire raged, people desperately tried to put it out, but it was no use. The fire was simply too intense. They tried using buckets of water, but that only made things worse. The water would land on the hot roofs and sizzle, causing the fire to spread even faster. So they switched to using hand pumps, but those failed as well. By the time they realized that they were in too deep and sent a message to the king, the fire was already out of control. In the end, it took 5 days and the efforts of 20,000 people to put the fire out. But the damage was done. 13,200 houses were destroyed, along with 87 churches and 52 public buildings. 100,000 people were left homeless, and the city's economy was in ruins. But out of the ashes, Londoners rebuilt their city. They created wider streets and more open spaces, and they built new homes and businesses that were more fire-resistant. And while the Great Fire of London was a tragedy, it also helped to make London the modern city we know today. Thanks for watching.